think the audio should be on now. Give everybody a few minutes and stuff to get in here. All right. Everybody, this is your man right here, the one, the only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, coming with the 7-day update. Crazy Bubba, what's going on? All right. Hey, is my audio coming in all right? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up, somebody. If my audio... Okay, all right. All right, I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, I had a phone call. Okay, all right, we good. We good. Okay. Go ahead, break into it and stuff. All right. Appreciate it, TR. Let's go ahead and get this thing switched back around. Okay, there we go. All right. Got the mouse in the background. Okay. 7-day update. You know, everybody pretty much familiar about what happened, so you know, we ain't gonna speak on it too lightly, but we know what had to be done, and it's done, and you know, as you can see, we still in the truck, tractor trailing and whatnot. So you know, it just something, man. I really, you know, everybody knew what was going on and stuff. Everybody knew what was going on and stuff. And the thing is that, you know, you try to play by the rules. You try to play by the rules, and it couldn't be done. So, all right, Big Tex, what's going on? Play by the rules, it couldn't be played and stuff. So, you know, we had to handle this thing another way, cause I got too much in it, and I'm not about to go out of business behind, you know, behind some nonsense and whatnot. So let's see. What I said I'm gonna do, right, is when all this was going on, yeah, everything good, chill wheel, everything good. With everything that was going on, I don't know if people, yeah, absolutely. I don't know if people was they don't want to speak on the topic too much on account of some kind, you know, whatever backlash may come from it and stuff like that. I guess I understand if you were in you know, a particular position and stuff where you contracted to a certain area, but you know, at the same time, it's an option. You know, it's an option, and it's something that got to be considered, because, you know, hey, it's one thing, you know, you can talk junk when you got the receipts to prove that you're doing everything that you're supposed to, and it still ain't working. You know, you can't take a truck that's valued at $50,000, $40,000, and then throw $20,000 into an emission system. You know, $20,000 into an emission system in the truck is only worth $40,000. You know, that's crazy. You know, you ain't did nothing to the motor, transmission, rims, none of that stuff. But you supposed to go and spend $20,000 in an emission system, and then it's not even brand new parts. It's refurbished parts. All of it's refurbished. You know, so many questions came up about, hey man, look, I ran into the same situation. I just tell people, look, man, get rid of it, because, you know, you're gonna spend 10 grand on a one box, and it's not even new one box. It's it's refurbished. The only thing you getting is a warranty on it. So it still don't you still don't solve the problem of it being fixed. The only difference is that, all right, you don't have to come out of pocket if something go wrong, right? You know, but you know, what's the chances of it going wrong and then you can make it to a shop to get it done? You know, cause the warranty issues and stuff, you know, I seen something last night that was disturbing, but what I say about those warranties is that it's just like insurance. You know, you get it, but you still taking a chance. But you know, you trying to stay in business. You trying to stay in business. You ain't got time. Okay, you get the warranty, and you know that you're getting it because you're not gonna have the money at the time if said issue and stuff happen. You know, you in pursuit of trying to get it. So you saying, well, down the road, if the truck gives me X amount of years and years, then you can see, okay, all right, your truck needs a new motor. But you done had the truck 7 years, right? So, you know, you can say, well, yeah, all right, I'm gonna throw another motor in it because it gave me 7 years to run. So, you know, you're gonna have that capital put away. But you know, you got the truck, and then, you know, here it is 6 months, somebody coming up and talking about, okay, you need a motor. You know, well, I ain't gonna say 6 months, you got a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. Your truck need a motor. You know, who the heck gonna have that capital? You know, who gonna have that capital and stuff, you know, on hand to say, yeah, go and throw one in there, you know. Or, you know, in-frame and all that other stuff. I mean, you know, so you get the warranty just in case something like this happening. You say, well, okay, I'll pay the copay, and I'll pay for the copay, and then, you know, I'll deal with what little downtime I'm gonna have. But, you know, I ain't gonna have that capital up front. I mean, you know, we in pursuit of trying to get capital. But now we're dealing with this emission system right now. You know, that's the killer. The emission system and stuff. And so, you know, it's misrepresented to say, okay, if you got a bad emission system, then your truck, your motor must be bad. Like the MaxxForce, right? You know, a lot of people say, well, the MaxxForce engine was bad. No, MaxxForce engine wasn't bad. It was the emission system that was tied to it. Unfortunately, when, you know, they created this system, they knew that people was going to ignore it. You know, they was going to ignore it. Like, well, hey, listen, can the truck still run? Yeah, well then, you know, hey, forget it. Yeah, it can throw all the codes it want to throw and stuff as long as I can go down the road, right? It might not be able to turn the emissions and stuff to something that's safe to breathe or whatever, but you know, hey, it is what it is. I'll get it fixed later. But it's all tied in and stuff, so if you ignore it, it just shuts everything down, and now you got to deal with it. Okay, pull it to the shop, and I say the same thing. Okay, why is your truck in there? Everybody say the same thing. Well, stay away from new trucks. Stay away from post-emission trucks. Why? Because your truck gonna be in the shop. But nobody can bring any kind of receipts to say that it's a motor issue. You know, it's gonna be something dealing with a bad motor. Oh, you know, that them DD15s, yeah, the DD15s derate because of your emissions. You know, the Cummins, they derate because of the emissions. You know, PACCAR, MaxxForce, they all derate because of the emissions. It's tied into that ECM. So, you know, that's the whole purpose of getting it deleted. You know, if you delete off the ECM, you won't have that issue no more. You know, so let's not talk. You know, let's not talk about bringing things down and saying, well, you know, this said thing is bad, that said thing is bad. You know, let's speak intelligently about the situation. Quit saying, oh, well, this motor is bad, you know, because it's always breaking down. It ain't always breaking down. It's your emissions. You know, it's always got something to do. You know, so, well, guy says, well, the DD15 and stuff, it's a bad motor and stuff. Like, why is it bad? Oh, because he had to go to the shop because of a knock sensor. The knock sensor is on the emissions. It ain't got nothing to do with the motor. You know, it's the emissions. If you ignore it, then yeah, it shuts your truck into a derate. But you know, you get it removed and stuff. Nobody else has an issue with it. Every person that has successfully done it has said that, well, you know what? Hey, I'm still out here rocking and rolling. So we know what the problem is. Now, what we have to do, you know, what we have to do is really start addressing this issue because, you know, let's be real, is that as long as we're going to stay out here and as long as there's a desire for people to get out here and want to get their own truck and trailer, you're not gonna have access to a truck that's pre-emission, you know, a 07. You know, they fade into obscurity. You know, I mean, you're kind of lucky if you can run across one, but for the most part, it's gonna be 07 post, you know, and on up. But you know, 07 pre, you know, they're becoming more hard and harder to find. And so, you know, just like the cash for clunkers when they was doing that's gonna come up again. You know, oh, you got an older truck and stuff, you know, turn it in, we'll get you $40,000 in credit and stuff into this new truck. And then, you know, they take the truck and crush it or do whatever and stuff. You know, people are stockpiling the motors and stuff, and then they you know, they ain't marking them up now because you know, ELD right now. But when these emissions are really starting to become an issue and stuff, and so now they're gonna start marking those up just like a 99, you know, a 99 motor, a 2000 motor. Okay, you know, you ain't gotta worry about running the ELD. So it's a markup, even though the motor has less power. It will have less power and stuff like that than some of your you know, your 01s, 02s and stuff like that. But still, you know, before long they're gonna start marking them up because of these emissions. Everybody's having the same thing. You know, you go on a Facebook group, everybody's saying the same joint. It's like, man, hey, I got an ECC 61. Automatically know right then and stuff. Hey, what's going on? I got an ECC 61. I done did this, this, and this, and this, and it's gotta go to the shop, you know, and is my truck gonna derate, stuff like that. You know, am I gonna need a one box, something like that, you know? So that's the thing there, and they got you. Doesn't matter which way you go. Doesn't matter which way you go. You know, your truck. Let's see, we in 2019, so anything under a 2014, you can hang it up. As far as like Detroit, you know, especially Detroit standing behind and saying, well, you know, we'll give you a one box, you know, under warranty and stuff like that because your truck has been in service under 5 years. You know, what's the point in getting it? What's the point in getting it if it's still gonna throw codes? You know, ain't nobody got time for that crap. I'm gonna take your old one box, go and get it reworked and stuff, and then give you this one here, and then you still gonna have the same code. Oh, well, you got NOx efficiency, so we gotta change that NOx sensor. Oh, okay, it's your dozer valve. You know, it's your depth metering unit. You know, there's your problem there and stuff, running back into the same thing. Okay, you change all that, go back in the shop, you know, run about another 3-4 days and stuff, the light back on again, you know. And so you can't say screw it, you know, screw it, I ain't gonna mess with it and stuff like that, cause you know, it give you that 00, you done. You know, give you that 00, you done. So, you know, you weren't, how far can I drive with it? You know, can I get 300 miles, you know, 500 miles, 1,000 miles? You know, nobody has any kind of certain number as to how far you can go. So, but everybody knows what has to be done and stuff. And so I'm like this, I said, man, you know, as far as the, you know, getting it removed, I'm gonna go in hard. You know, as soon as, you know, the information I have is not good enough yet. You know, every day I was sitting there, you know, doing the research on this stuff, and then, you know, I read it back, I pitch it out. I said, no, you know what, they ain't good enough. They ain't gonna understand it. So I'm gonna go in to great lengths and great details, and I'm already putting the challenge out there to anybody that's saying, okay, run the emissions, right? You know, run the emissions and stuff like that because it's good or whatnot. I got the receipts to prove it. That not only just me, but anybody else, you know, Volvo's doing, that ran me out of the truck. I'm going rebound. Yeah, so, you know, see, that's the thing there. Some people can, you know, some people can catch it before it gets too out of hand, and then for the most part, some people can't do it, and they saying, well, you know what, hey, I got to give it up and then regroup and start over and stuff, and that's tough, man. You know, that's tough that it was something that was beyond your control. You know, cause you can take it to the shop, and that's the only, you know, you say, well, stay out of manufacture, you know, stay out of the Freightliners and the Kenworths and stuff like that. But who else has the ability to work on emissions? Because none of your other shops out here, they ain't gonna do it. I mean, they'll fix it, but they tell you the same thing. Well, look, you know, I could change the parts and clear the codes and stuff, and then you going right back in there. It was weekly, all those codes, 2 months straight. Exactly. My same scenario over here. Exact same scenario. Truck went in 1st of October. No, not October. It went in the 1st of August, and the 1st of August, and I was in there all the month of August and all the month of September, and then it cleared up. And then they ain't going, so it gave me, let's see, it gave me what, October and November. It gave me October and November. And just that little time there and stuff was enough for me to get all that money back. All the money I put into it and stuff. They're like, well, you know, why you gonna do that? You know, why you gonna spend all this money? I know I'll make the money back. That's why I ain't stressing. You know, made the money back and stuff. Then I put what you call this thing? An EGR actuator that went out, and that was overpriced. You know, paid for it and made that money back, and then, you know, I bought a car, but, you know, same situation. That was, you know, but anyway, as long as the truck was running, staying out the shop, it made the money back. So I said, well, you know what, I'll spend it. You know, I'll spend it. You know, because I thought that was gonna be the last. I thought that was gonna be the last hit. If I knew that I was gonna spend that money and then be back in the shop and stuff every week, I would have just done what I did last week and just been done with it. And that's what I'm kicking myself in the head right now about. I'm like, man, all this money and I can't get it back. You can't get it back. You can't, you know, you can tell them, hey man, you hustled me. You know, y'all beating me out of it. You can get up here on social media and, you know, explain what happened in hopes of you know, educating others and stuff, right, about taking certain issues, you know, I mean, well, doing certain things, so taking certain preventive measures and stuff, so those things and stuff don't happen. But, you know, you also got those who are doing good, right? Still running the system. But I mean, you know, you don't have the luxury of going, you know, you don't have the luxury of buying a truck and then the people that you contracted to is linked in with this particular shop here and stuff. You know, you don't have that luxury. A lot of people don't have that luxury and stuff. And then, you know, if you go over there, you know, if you go over there and stuff, then the problem then is gonna be you got a fine working truck, but you ain't making no money because nobody's trying to put you on to where you can make money consistently. Always in the hole, you know. Always you got this nice looking truck, and then they might get you a load or two or something like that. But then when you too far down, okay, we'll run, get you caught up, and that's that. You know, you might make one good settlement and stuff. You know, so it's either one or the other. You never get a combination of both. You never get a combination of both. You know, it's either the truck running bad, but you got stuff connected to make good money, or you're going to have a good running truck and you just contracted to some bad people as to why you can't make money, you know. So you try to get a combination of the two, and that's my thing there. It's just shoot. Where I'm at, I'm able to make the capital necessary. The problem is just the truck, you know. This truck don't want to do right. Or I ain't gonna say truck don't want to do right. It was a part of this truck that don't want to do right. But we have removed the cancer. We have removed that cancer, and now the way things are looking, as though that removal process has cured the disease of which my truck was suffering under. So, you know, we'll figure we'll find a proper word and stuff so you know, so it don't freak people out and stuff and say, oh wow, you did that. Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna make some phone calls and call you know, the EPA and all that stuff there, and because, you know, that's illegal. But then it's not a crime and stuff to be spending $25,000 on a $40,000 truck just to make sure that let's see, when I regroup, I definitely, you daggone right. You doggone right, man. That's the first thing you do. That's the first thing you do. When you get it, you know, when you get it, go ahead right then. In fact, let's see, what's people. Okay, I'm gonna break into that too, Big Tex. I'm gonna break into that. Now, ever since the surgery, right? Ever since the surgery, I haven't seen no change in it. I ain't gonna kid you. I ain't seen no change as far as like the power, you know, the power and the fuel mileage and stuff, man. I ain't seen no change in it. And maybe it's because I haven't given it time. Yeah, it's freight. It's a freight shake. It's we should put that word backwards. You know, we shouldn't call it a freight shake. We should call it a shake of freight. Because, you know, when it's down and stuff, man, it's shaking all the freight and stuff, man. You can't get no freight. It's just shaking you off. You know, okay, we gotta go to the shop, so gotta shake this freight off for you. But I haven't seen no power, and that's maybe from my understanding, when they make that you know, when most people go in for that surgery, right? When they go in for that surgery, they usually go in with you know, they get modifications and stuff done too. Like, well, since they already in there, they turn it up, right? And I forget the word for it. But you know, you could turn everything up without having to go into mode and stuff and just set everything at maximum performance. You know, had it 2 years. The only repair I ever did was emission related shit. It was crazy. Yep. And that's all. And that's all it's gonna be. That's all it's gonna be. But you know, when you get somebody going to that ECM, like, especially, yeah, you know, when you go to the ECM and stuff, guys, your motor is set at, you got a maximum, you know, you got maximum spec on it, right? Like, if you get and I know I'm going old school, but the thing is, I'm just speaking on what I know and stuff. Like, say you get the C15 Cat, right? And the C15 Cat, the Acer twin turbo, they'll tell you, okay, 475. You know, you got 475 and stuff, and so some people will dial it down like probably 450, 435, stuff like that. But then you get the truck and stuff, and then you say, okay, maximum performance. Then you coming out 550 without having to do nothing. You don't have to change the, you know, you don't have to go in the mode and stuff and get anything boiled out, or, you know, change the turbo or nothing like that. You know, you can do 550, just going in there and turning everything up in the ECM. You know, but nobody does that. I mean, well, when you got a fleet of trucks, you know, and people not having understanding about, you know, turning that thing up to a 550 and still getting, you know, you can still get 7 miles to the gallon, but instead, you know, you turn it to a 550, and now, you know, on average, your truck getting 5 miles to the gallon, you know, in the 4s and stuff like that. Like, no, dude, no, that's can't do that and stuff. So, you know, but, you know, you one man, one truck and stuff, you can turn up 550. Then, you know, if you're making any mistakes, you can make the adjustments necessary and say, okay, all right, I ran this way, I had this particular loads and stuff like that, this type fuel miles I'm getting, so on and so forth. So, you know, I think I need to try another way, a different route, or go to another place and stuff, as far as like where I get fuel. You know, you can monitor that and make the adjustments, and you can see the changes and stuff right then, as opposed to, you know, having a whole fleet of trucks, and then you might have one person that's doing okay and stuff, and then the next person and stuff, you know, he getting the RPMs up all the way up to 18, 1900. Then want to change it, you know, hot boxing and stuff, or, you know, somebody done passed him, and then, you know, he got that thing going down the road barreling about 75, 80 miles an hour, you know, that sort of thing there. So yeah, I can understand, you know, as far as the fleet, but for the most part and stuff, it's just, I ain't seen no change. But that's because I never asked the dude to make any tweaks. No big text, but I do have one though, right? I do have one, right? Let me show you what I got. So you know, after I wrap this up and stuff, I'm gonna go into the truck stop and I'm gonna do a part regen. So you know, but yeah, that's the only thing I have though. But yeah, I know. Cause see, you know, if I don't and stuff, man, I'm gonna get that MIL light. And, you know, you get that MIL light and stuff, man. You know, it's, I take this thing back to Freightliner, and then, you know, I'll be making another video about, hey man, I done spent another $35, $4,500 because they found out, you know, I got low NOx efficiency and poor depth quality, and you know, low depth air pressure and those sort of things there and stuff. So, you know, I'm definitely gonna do, you know, that regen and stuff, right? As soon as I can't do it now because it's, you know, it'll probably be too loud in the feed and stuff like that, you know, but it's definitely letting me know and stuff that it's got to be done, right? Or lack thereof, you know. But yeah, but that's the thing there and stuff. I haven't seen any change, and that's because you know, I haven't really given it time, and I didn't ask him to turn nothing up, and that's where my knowledge and stuff about, you know, especially about this particular engine here and stuff, is a little bit, you know, it's not, I'm not very knowledgeable about that and stuff, so I don't want to do it and then somebody might come up and say like, hey man, you know, that was a bad thing you done and stuff, and this, and because you're doing that, this is what you risk. Because I know this thing is delicate, but I don't know how delicate it is, you know. So once further research and stuff is done, then I can say, okay, all right, yeah, if you do this, turn this thing up to spec and stuff, I had the right, you know, I had the right words and stuff to say, you know, and hopefully I can get some networking and stuff done about, you know, getting certain people to said place to get, you know, whatever surgery and stuff necessary in order to remove, you know, the cancer that's in your equipment, you know, because that's the only thing I can, that's the one thing I can say, you know, if it's a commonality amongst everybody, is that, you know, they say what's wrong, it's always something dealing with the emissions. Every single time, it's something dealing with the emissions. So, it also gave me another idea too, and you know, cause I like the Pro Stars, man. I ain't gonna lie, I like those Pro Stars and stuff, and so since I know that this treatment right here was successful, you know, I'm like, now if I see one, you know, and it has that Max Force engine and stuff, I'm just gonna get it, cause I already know what to tackle, you know. So, and I guess I'll just use that as a spare, cause I mean, you know, shoot, 2013, 14, you know, you got a truck, 400,000, you getting the truck for, you know, 11, 12 grand, you know, 11, 12 grand and stuff, and it's not all beat to heck and stuff, you know, as far as the inside is concerned. You might have to buy a seat or something like that, but, you know, for the most part, everything else is, you know, your cabinets and, you know, your cabinets and stuff like that, you know, they on par. I mean, as far as the upholstery and stuff is done, you know, you can, you know, it's pretty simple fix and stuff like that. You know, like I said, I like the look of it, like the feel of it. It's just, you know, heck, the truck's not expensive. You know, truck's not expensive and stuff, and so, you know, if I got to do anything and stuff like that, then I'll have a spare at least. You know, so, but yeah, that's what's going on and stuff, man. It's just, you know, if you hear people talking about bad motors and trucks and stuff like that, you know, ask them to elaborate. Okay, what makes the motor bad? Well, you know, you keep throwing codes and stuff, right? These codes and stuff are always going back to emissions. So, you know, you have to, you know, you have to get an understanding. It's just like you have a truck and, let's see, that's a good idea. I might bounce back in and out. Yeah, I mean, you know, the a lot of people didn't want to mess with those Max Force, right? And so let's go ahead and be real on the Max Force, right? Okay, let's go ahead and be real on the Max Force. People are going to stick with things that they trust, right? They're going to stick with that, just like the Freightliner Cascadia, right? The Freightliner Cascadia is the updated version of the Ford Sterling. Now, the Ford Sterling was never a popular truck. You know, they had a line and stuff, but, you know, they discontinued the line when they merged in with 35. 35 was the damaged bit text. But Sterling was trying to stay in it, but they could never produce a truck to where people would want to, they would want to buy the truck and stuff and say, well, yeah, all right, you know, because you can't think of a single company that had, you can't think of a single company, that had a fleet of Sterlings. You know, maybe one and stuff, but, you know, you didn't see Sterlings and stuff going up and down. So when Daimler Chrysler merged in, and, you know, they got the Sterling and all that other stuff there, this was the next truck to roll out. But if they throw the Sterling on it, they were like, no, the truck wasn't gonna sell. So they discontinued and they turned these trucks into Cascadias, and well, they turned them into Freightliners and stuff. And so, you know, because if you look at this truck here, you look at the Century class, there is no comparison whatsoever, you know. But if you put the last Sterling that came out and then set it right beside this truck here and stuff, you can see the similarities. So just like when you know, the Mercedes-Benz engine, right? When the Mercedes-Benz rolled out, those engines were going to be specifically for Freightliner Columbia. That's it. They weren't going to put them in any other trucks except the Columbias. But people loved the Columbia, but they didn't like the Mercedes engine. And so, you know, they asked people and stuff, okay, if you could change something about the Columbia, what would you change? They said, well, the motor. We don't like that Mercedes-Benz motor because of the way it sounds and the, you know, the power output and stuff like that, you know. So they kept the Columbias, but they made them all with Detroit. You know, they put all Detroits in them and stuff, and so, you know, then that's how those trucks became popular. But the Mercedes-Benz engine was a preference motor. You know, it was a preference motor and stuff. You know, you go in and stuff to get you a specific truck, and then they'll offer you that and stuff. But, you know, you saying, well, if we give you that Mercedes-Benz motor, we'll knock off, say, 7-8 grand off the tag, right? You know, and it's nothing more. You know, the Detroit is, I mean, the Mercedes-Benz is nothing more but a Detroit. So they say, all right, yeah, if it's gonna save me 8 grand, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Now, I'm not driving it, you know, but anyway, that was the deal there and stuff. So people stick with things that they can trust. You know, Detroit Cummins and Cat. You know, Mack throw their hat in, Volvo throw their hat in, and people ask the same thing. Like, look, we like the truck, we just don't like the motor. So Volvo stepped it up and said, well, all right. They talked to Cummins, and so most of their trucks that came out had the Cummins motor. So Volvo Motors was something that was it was a preference. But if you went to them, they knocked a couple thousand and stuff off the you know, off the price of the truck. And so they give you that assurance and stuff to say, well, hey, listen, we got staff enough to where, you know, if things go down and stuff, right, you know, we can get to this shop and that shop and this shop here, you know. And Volvo proved themselves. That's why they the #1 out here. But, you know, still people gonna stick with things they can trust and stuff. You know, they don't know very much about Volvo, but they know much about Cummins, and you know, so they say, all right, we'll go with the Cummins. PACCAR, same thing. Like, you know, okay, well, we're rolling out with the new 387, no, the 389s, you know, the 389s and stuff, you know, W900, stuff like that. But we're going with the PACCAR motor, you know, which is nothing more but Cummins. But people go with it stuff again because they're knocking, you know, they're knocking a significant amount off the title. I mean, off the price of the truck. You know, you sitting there, you got a 389, and then they're saying, well, you know, if you get it with a Cummins, then it's 175, right? It's 175, but you get it with a PACCAR motor, then it's 155. So you like the truck, and they're telling you, well, it really ain't gonna be no change and stuff as far as the performance and stuff like that. What you gonna do? I'm gonna save 20 grand and still get the same truck I want. So when MaxxForce, their thing, it was a standalone, you know, it was a standalone and stuff, and then you mix it in with this new emission system, and now people run into these issues and stuff and saying, well, hey man, trucks are always broke down, trucks are always in the shop. But you in the shop because of an emission system that was also created by MaxxForce. They said, well, we're not going in with nobody else but our own brand. And so they create their own system and stuff, and then, you know, you see what it is today and stuff. You know, Detroit has their own, Cummins have their own, but they're names that you can trust and stuff, so people will get those. But MaxxForce, they failed based upon the emissions. So they say, well, the motor isn't bad, it's just the emission system, but you got to have both. You can't just say, okay, give me a glider kit and stuff, but then give me a MaxxForce engine with no emissions. They tell you, no, it can't be done. You know, you get one, you got to get the other. So that's why they failed, and they failed horribly and stuff. But, you know, Detroit and stuff, they offering you things now with, you know, these so-called warranties and stuff like that. But at the same time, I mean, you get them, and then they denying you the fact that you can get it. Well, okay, your truck been in service over 5 years, so it doesn't qualify. But, you know, it's Detroit. You know, 5 years it don't qualify, you know, but it's Cummins. You know, Cummins is everywhere. Detroit is everywhere. They all certified. You know, Cat, you see what Cat said, no, we got to draw the line. We got to draw a line in the sand because they made their own emission system, and they said, man, look, we can't deal because we already see what the problem is, you know. So they got out of it. They went, you know, they went vocational, And they didn't do a good job on that. They said, well, you know, we'll test the waters, we'll make a vocational truck. And they did it, and what was the problem? The emissions. You know, motors on point and stuff, emissions. So they said, you know, now you can't even get the vocational truck. You know, they stopped selling those, producing those because of the emissions. So they said, well, you know, we just can't create something to where it's reliable because our name is on it now. And that's all you need is your name to be connected to something that people are talking about. I'm not gonna buy this truck because, you know, I'm having issues and stuff with this, that, or whatever. You know, we surviving now because people have the know-how to go and say, okay, let's go and get rid of it, right? Let's go and get rid of it and stuff. And then people are saying, well, it's gone, but we're still gonna service your stuff. You know, we're still gonna service it, you know, despite the fact that you got this thing gone. But the thing is, once it's gone, what you going in the shop for? You know, a bad alternator, you know, a worn out alternator, some issue with your air conditioning, you know, maybe a fan hub seal, you know, something on the outside. But you talking about, like, you know, the real innards of the motor. Okay, you just going in for what's called overhead, and anybody can do that. I'm just going in for overhead. That's it. You know, maybe an injector or two, but I haven't heard nobody with injector issues. Not with nothing post emission. So I mean, you know, there you go. They made a good system, but if people gonna run a diagnostic on something, they need to run it on the emission system. Man, to tell you the truth, you can't even trust that. You can't trust the diagnostic on the emission because they ran it on mine, and the only time that it really wanted to count and say, okay, yeah, we found the problem was when the warranty was gone. 2 months out of warranty. Oh, we found the problem. Your one box. You know, but then the truck is going in there every week. And stuff, and oh, we don't know what's wrong. Okay, it's your knock sensor, so we'll change that. Okay, it's your knock sensor again. Okay, well, I bought one last week. Oh, okay, all right, you know, oh, we forgot, so we got to put a new one up there, but it's on the house. That sort of stuff there. So you really can't trust that. But yeah, TR, if you rebound and you happen to get one on the low end, which you can do, you know, go ahead and get that cancer and stuff cut off. And, you know, the other issue and stuff is just getting with somebody, you know, getting with somebody that would allow you to get out here and make money and just stay out your business. Like, okay, all right, you want to go over there, fine. You know, we'll get our, you know, 10%, 15%, 20%, or whatever it is they charge on contract, you know, and that's that. Okay, and then you free to go out there and make, you know, whatever decision you're gonna make to make money. So, biggest issue, emissions. And I'm putting together, which will be a very powerful portfolio to let folk know and stuff. You know, if this is what you decide, right, then these are the steps that you're gonna take, and then in that, you know, this is what they expect, so on and so forth, and which I'm hoping what's that, Black Smoke Mountain and stuff, you know, I hope that they, you know, the people that's in charge of that, which I'm trying to reach out to now and stuff, and see, you know, what is it that, you know, what is really their agenda, because it's a shame that, especially with somebody like myself that's always trying to find out information about the trucking industry, knows very little about Operation Black Smoke Mountain and the shutdown that they're talking about doing in April. you know, it is and stuff. We're about to go into February and stuff, so it's 2 months left, and it's 2 months left, and they're talking about shutting down in April because, you know, that last shutdown, well, not the last one, the one before that, that was a complete failure because they decided to do it at the same time that the government was shut down. So, I mean, you know, it wasn't very effective. And then this last one, that wasn't very effective either. So, I mean, from, you know, I didn't even know that they was doing it until I went to the truck stop and saw that the guys and stuff had, you know, they had the things and stuff on the truck, but, you know, nobody hit me up on any kind of social media page and stuff. And I mean, I'm linked into all of them. Yeah, I didn't find out. And so I'm sitting over here with a load looking like a dummy, you know, when I'm supposed to be uniting, you know, when I'm supposed to be uniting and stuff, because I think that the issue that they was talking about and stuff was rather significant. Problem was is that there was no communication, you know. So, I mean, on one hand, you got these guys here and stuff that's standing with trying to get something done effective in the industry, and then here I am out here, you know, doing loads and stuff. So, you know, nobody was really worried about nothing. Like, oh well, okay, Red Rooster, he's still riding, you know, even though they supposed to be talking about a strike and stuff like that. And, you know, you got these guys here, those guys there. So it wasn't effective. Let's see, rates are bad now. By April, the rates will be better. Something needs to be done. Yep. This is why, you know, this networking thing needs to be so important, because, again, when you're talking about doing something this significant and then talking about gathering people to shut down to make some effective change, and then here we are 3 months away from when it's supposed to go down, and nobody really knows nothing. You know, it's not, you know, anytime you talk to a driver and stuff, that's what everybody should be talking about. Like, okay, hey, are you familiar with Black Smoke Matters? Okay, these are the agendas and stuff that they're trying to move towards, so, you know, that we can get the effective change necessary, you know, to help out in our industry. Nobody knows nothing. You know, nobody knows nothing. It's talked about very little. So, I mean, you know, which lets me know the caliber of effectiveness is going to be. It's going to be a flop, just like the other times. And if we're talking about being effective, then again, we have to get the message out there and stuff. But, you know, I'm not an orchestrator of it, so I don't know. But I'm willing to put it out there and stuff if anybody, you know, if anybody has the time, energy, and the resource and stuff, you know, to get me familiar with it. And if I feel that it's going to be effective, then you doggone right. Every time I post up something or go live or whatever and stuff, you know, that's going to be the agenda. Like, okay, all right, look, guys, Operation Black Smoke Matters going down this time here and stuff, so we need to be getting this, and this together, you know, so we can get more informed. But, I mean, it's a shame, man, you know, 3 months and it's supposed to be shut down and stuff like that. It's going to be the same people, you know. Oh, well, but for the most part, you know, trucks still going to be going up and down the highway delivering freight, you know. So anybody have any information on that and stuff, man, look, just hey, get me in the loop, you know, let me know and stuff, so I can go in the right direction and stuff about learning what research and stuff need to be, you know, what need to be learned and stuff, so that, you know, people ain't sitting up here talking about things that's really not effective. You know, like, well, I don't like my dispatcher, you know, I don't like my dispatcher, you know, this particular trucking company, they do this and they do that, you know, and those sort of things there, you know. Okay, all right, so we treat you a little better and stuff, we'll get you some better runs and stuff, and then, you know, okay, all right, then you good to go. We don't need that type of stuff. I mean, we need real, you know, we need some real tangible information that can be put out here and stuff that's really effective. You know, none of this crybaby nonsense. You know, real effective stuff. You know, so we know something, man. Let's you know, let's get on the ball and stuff, man, and get this information out there and stuff. Cause again, you know, guys are gonna do it, but it shouldn't be the same people that's out there and stuff, man. Oh yeah, I'm dissatisfied with this particular political party or whatever. You know, if we had these particular political parties and stuff in there, then things would get right. You know, when we had both political parties that was in there, you know, you had Democrat in there, you had Republican in there, and you know, we got a trucking industry that's based upon, you know, truckers. Doesn't matter what political party and stuff you with, you know, it's still going to affect you. So we know we got to throw that out. We got to throw that out and stuff that's going to bring out, you know, division amongst us. So, I got 50 minutes in and stuff. I guess I'll go ahead and wrap things up now and stuff. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns, whatnot and stuff, you know, hey, look, y'all know how to hit me up. My phone number, 252-266-8513. That's the number. As long as it's about the trucking industry, you know, as long as it's about the trucking industry and stuff, man, we can talk all day long, you know. Shoot, I guess that's that and stuff, you know. Like I said, I'm still working on trying to bring out some real hardcore information about, you know, if those that are interested in trying to remove that cancer and stuff off your truck, you know, so that when you do it, you know what to expect and so on and so forth. Guys, I mean, we can say it, you know, we can say it all day long, but you know, a lot of times I think people are afraid, you know. People are afraid. They want to do it, but then they're afraid that if they do it, then you know, somebody's going to get them, or you know, the EPA is going to come after them right away, and they're going to get pulled over, and this, and your truck going to tell on you, and all that stuff there. So I think fear a lot of times it keeps people from, you know, considering that option right there and stuff. You know, the other thing is false information. You know, because a lot of people want to float that around and say, okay, well, if this happens and stuff, then this is what's going to happen to your truck, and you know, you're going to have to be paying this and paying that. You know, we're going to go ahead and put that stuff to rest too. So I'm going to bring the real information and stuff out there, the real tangible information, so you know, you can see it for yourself. And then if anybody wants to, you know, come up and challenge it with whatever misinformation they want to produce, then we'll let them do it, you know. But the challenge is going to be, okay, all right, I hear what you're saying, right? But, you know, can you prove that this what it is and stuff, when, you know, in fact, they can't do it, you know, because they don't have paperwork or resource or none of that stuff. It's just some speculatory stuff that a person is thinking about because we got too much time on our hands, you know. Especially when you're talking about doing something effective and something that's going to help you out overall. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't buy your own truck. Don't buy your own truck because this was going to happen. Don't buy your own trailer. This was going to happen. Don't get your own authority because this was what's going to happen. You know, somebody always talking about, what's the other thing? Oh, man, I had about five, six trucks and stuff, man. I had to give them all up and be a company driver. Who does that? You know, who does that? You had a fleet and then you saying I'm gonna give it up to go be a company driver? You know, I'm like, man, shoot, I got one truck, and I mean, don't get me wrong, if I had to be a company driver, it will only be for the issue of gathering up some money, gathering up some capital and stuff, and then, you know, once I got it, it's, hey, look, you know, I'm going back to get me another truck again, another trailer again, you know, like, I'm just doing this right now to gather me up some capital. That's it. But, you know, going back into being this again and being comfortable, no, Jack, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. I mean, I would have to do what I have to do, you know, but to go back into it and stuff, because so business is just too hard. Yeah, well, business is gonna be hard, you know. It's gonna be hard and stuff, but I mean, it is what it is. You talking about giving it up, going back and being a company? No, no, it's got to be I'm going back to regroup, to get some capital and stuff, and then after that, you know, fix whatever needs to be fixed and stuff, and then I'm going right back into, you know, get my own truck, my own trailer, staying there. But, yeah, that's it, fellas. Like I said, I appreciate the time. I appreciate all the comments and stuff like that. You know, any information that you have, keep it coming. I'll do the research on it stuff, man, answer you back. Let's see what you got right there. I want to become my own operator so bad. I even found a company in Massachusetts. Wait a minute, hold up. Let's see. How you pull this chat back up? Oh, wait, I'm screwing up. Let's see, Craig Hayes, I want to become my own operator so bad. I even found a company in Massachusetts where I live that does local runs in New Jersey and back, and will be home every day, just a little nervous to jump off. Hey, listen, if that feeling that you have isn't going to go away, all right? It's not that, okay, say you get the truck and you find out and you say, all right, this ain't for me, right? Then, you know, you can still drive trucks, right? You can still drive trucks and say, well, this ain't for me and stuff, but at least I know I did it. At least I know I did it and I gave it the best shot and stuff, because, you know, what you need to be worried about is not if you fail, but if you succeed is what you got to be worried about. You know, if I succeed and stuff, man, then what's the next goal? You know, what's the next thing for you? You know, because, you know, it's just, man, you know, if you want to do it, man, you should do it. You know, allow yourself to do that. You know, but it's never no perfect science. It's never no perfect science to be an own operator. It isn't. You know, you got Red Rooster's perspective, but I mean, Red Rooster isn't, you know, it's not to say all and be all. You know, you ask any person that's up here that does YouTube, that's an own operator, and they got their own perspective about, you know, going into becoming an own operator. You know, you got some that actually discourage people from doing it, but they own operator themselves and stuff, but they say, well, no, you shouldn't do it because of this, that, or whatever. You know, you got those types. You got those that want to be flashy with it, like, well, hey man, I'm sitting over here making $20,000 and $30,000 a month and stuff, and you ain't, you know, because I'm better than you. You know, I do this and that. You got those types. And then you got, you know, you got people of all types. I hope I'm one that's humble. You know, I hope I'm one that's humble. At least that's my initiative and my goal, to say, well, you know, if this is what you want to do, hey man, you call me, you let me know what your plan is and stuff, man, and we'll go over together. You know, we'll go over together, but I'll never talk you out of not doing it. In fact, I'm only going to encourage you and say, yeah, do it, man. You want to get you found you a company, you got you a truck, you trying to get you a truck, get one. Get one, guys. It's a headache out here and stuff, but you know, it hurts so good though. You know, if that makes sense. It hurts so good, man. But yeah. Other than that, fellas and stuff, I'm gonna go and jump on off here. Get my clothes and stuff washed. Oh yeah, one more thing. Hey, look, if any of y'all over here on the East Coast, if any of y'all over here on this East Coast and stuff, I know that Pennsylvania, oh, my phone done froze up. All right, my camera done froze up and stuff, but if you can still hear me, if you guys are coming out to, if you're gonna be over here on this East Coast, be very careful, because the state of Pennsylvania declared they declared a state of emergency. In fact, they are restricting all commercial vehicles. Okay, thanks. You can still hear me. All right. They're having a restriction on all commercial vehicles at 12 noon tomorrow. 12 noon and stuff. That means if you're on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, if you're on 81, if you're on 80, they are putting a ban out. And that goes into effect noon tomorrow. So it's going to get real bad over here, fellas, if you're over here on the East Coast. So just be real careful. Be very careful and stuff if you're going to be over here. If you don't have to be over here, don't. If you do, again, just be real careful. You know, if you ain't got to be out here, don't. Go ahead, hunker down. Wait till things and stuff kind of, you know, wait till things and stuff kind of comb over and stuff, and then, you know, go from there. But I do know Pennsylvania did declare a state of emergency. The signs and stuff are out there on the highways. And if you are going on, if you're getting on any interstate out there in Pennsylvania, they do have a ban that's going to go into effect noon tomorrow on all interstates except 95 in Pennsylvania. So again, just be real careful. And it sucks my camera done locked up, so I just go ahead and end on that note there and stuff. You guys be safe, be easy. This is your man right here, the one, the only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, telling you as always, continue to do your research, fact-finding studies. Harness on your skills every day. Till next time we talk, next time we meet, be safe, be easy, and peace out.